name's Jade. I'm 26 years old and today I'm going to be telling you my PCOS and weight loss journey. Now, a few things before we get started. One, I'm a rambler. I like to talk. So when I tell a story, I tell a story. So if you have plans, you're probably going to want to cancel them because we're going to be here a while. Get yourself a coffee, get some snacks, take a seat. Honeys, come chat with me. Secondly, for those of you who don't know, PCOS stands for polycystic ovary syndrome. So yes, we will be talking about that time of the month. That doesn't make me uncomfortable. It's natural. Half the world's population deals with that, so I don't mind talking about it. However, if that makes you uncomfortable, you probably aren't going to want to watch this video, which is totally fine. Thirdly, I am not an expert. I'm simply just doing what has worked for me and what I have done. So yeah, take everything I say with a grain of salt, and please make sure you always seek professional advice. So now that I've said that, let's get into it. So I was diagnosed with PCOS the start of this year in January. Since then, in the last 10 months, I've lost 25 kilos, and there's been a whole range of things that has made that happen. So firstly, what I will do is, just so you guys have a bit of an idea of what I'm talking about, I'm going to give you the definition of PCOS, some of the symptoms and some of the ones that I've dealt with. So polycystic ovary syndrome is a hormonal condition. It can be associated It can be associated with problems such as irregular menstrual cycles, excessive facial and body hair, acne, obesity, reduced fertility, and increased risk of diabetes. So the reason I'm doing my PCOS and weight loss story together is because they do interlock for a lot of ladies with PCOS. You put on weight and it's very hard to get that weight off. So yeah, that's why I'm telling this story together, and I feel like I sort of have to give you guys a bit of the backstory first, because I wasn't diagnosed with PCOS until I was 26, which I feel like is quite late to be diagnosed. So the first time I sort of started seeing symptoms or had symptoms, I didn't realize there were symptoms. I wasn't educated in what PCOS was. I didn't realize, there was anything that wasn't normal about what was happening. So when I was, I think it was 17, in the space of 3 months, I put on over 20 kilos. I want to say 22, 23 kilos. And for a 17-year-old girl, that is horrifying. It's really, really bad. But around that same time, I had also started taking antidepressants for quite severe anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder. So I always just thought that the weight gain was because of my medication that I was taking. So I never went and saw a doctor about it because I was just like, oh, that's why. Eventually I got off the medication and I tried so hard to lose weight. I did everything I could and it just, nothing worked. I couldn't lose weight and it was so frustrating. And eventually I just got to the point where I was like, okay, well, this is who I am. This is my body type. This is what I'm meant to be. And it was really, really hard because I just lost all motivation to even try, because nothing that I did worked and I tried everything. And then when I was a bit older, when I was, I want to say 24, I started getting really bad adult acne. I started getting a few dark hairs on my chin. My periods were really inconsistent, and I didn't really realize until I used one of the period trackers on my phone just how inconsistent they were. Usually had a 5 to 6 week cycle. I would miss periods completely. It was just all over the shop. And again, I wasn't educated. I didn't know what those symptoms meant. And just with that as well, if you have any of these symptoms, it does not mean you have PCOS, but I would recommend going to see your doctor just in case. It's always better to know one way or the other. So I ended up having to go to the doctors for something else, and my sister recommended a doctor because I never found one that I liked. And she said, go see this lady, she's awesome. She actually cares about you, which is always nice with a doctor. So I walked into her office, sat down, and she just looked at me. She didn't even say anything. She just looked at me and she goes, oh, you've got polycystic ovaries. And I was like, no, not that I know of, I don't. And she was like, no, I really think you do. And she started asking me all these questions. Have you had a really quick excess weight gain? And I was like, yeah, when I was 17, but you know, I think that was from medication. And she was like, oh, don't think so. And she just kept asking me all these questions, and symptom after symptom after symptom came out. And it wasn't until we sort of put them all together that I was like, oh crap, I think there's a problem. And she said to me, look, you need to have 2 out of 3 things to be diagnosed with PCOS. You need to have the symptoms, which I had. You need to have, it's excess hormones or something like that, in a blood test. So I got a blood test, so that all came back normal. And she was like, okay, I want you to get the ultrasound because I really think you have polycystic ovaries. So she sent me for the ultrasound, comes back, I have polycystic ovaries. I've got cysts all over my ovaries. And I was like, okay, at least I know now. At least I know. And I feel, it sounds really strange, but I was just so happy to find out that I wasn't a failure. And I felt a lot of hope with that, and I felt really motivated, and I was like, you know what, I can do this. And the appointment, when I found out, my doctor did 3 things. So one, she did prescribe me with metformin, which I am still taking today. So metformin is usually for people with diabetes, but they give it to ladies with polycystic ovaries as well, because one of the factors with polycystic ovaries a lot of the time is insulin resistance, which is why we find it really hard to lose weight with PCOS. So I've taken that. I really think that has helped because I've been able to lose weight doing things that I was doing before, and I was never losing weight. So that was really good. Secondly, in Australia, we have I think it's called a chronic management plan or something like that. But basically your doctor can send you to get a report done up and sent to Medicare if you've got a chronic disease or something that's been going on for a while, to get you sessions covered under Medicare or subsidized under Medicare. So I got one free appointment with an exercise physio, and then I got 4 appointments with a nutritionist. So if you're in Australia, I would recommend you do that because it's amazing. Sorry, my window's open because I'm in Queensland and it's really, really hot and it's only September. Anywho, so I got all that sorted. I still sat there and I was like, oh, where do I start? I still don't know what to do. And then my doctor, she said to me, look, we need you to lose weight. You need to be healthy. You know, we want you to be able to have kids when you get older. You have a higher risk of diabetes because of the PCOS. We want to make sure you don't get that. And she said, look, if you don't lose weight, you're going to need the weight loss surgery. And I was like, oh, my heart sank. I was like, I don't want the weight loss surgery. I don't want that. And it was really heartbreaking for me. And that's the point where I was like, nah, that's it. I've got to do this. I've got to lose weight. And a lot of people say to me, how did you stick to it? Like, how did you get motivation? And this is going to sound really corny, but I think I was just ready. I was ready, and that was that. You know, I'd had all these years of starting and stopping dieting and exercise, and nothing was working. And I was like, no, I have a diagnosis, I have a plan. It's now or never. I've got to do this. I had never felt so mentally strong and ready to do what I needed to do. So that was awesome, but it was still like, where do I start? What am I going to do? And then my friends Alana and Taylor, which I worked with, and I can't thank them enough for this. I was really upset and I was chatting to them about it, and they said, let's do this together. Let's do this together. We'll do the diet that you need to do and we'll support you. And that was just amazing. If you have supports around you, it is so much easier. And this is the start of the changing of my diet, which over the last 10 months there's been so many changes in that. I've done so many different things, and I think this is one of the things that it's so different for everyone, and you have to find out what works for you. So if you do any research online, you'll see that high fat diets or the keto diet is what everyone says is best for PCOS. So me, Taylor and Alana decided we'll do keto. Let's do that. And I was like, cool. And they'd done keto before, so they knew a little bit about it. So it was so much easier for me. They told me what to do and where to start and told me a bit about it, and that was awesome. And I started doing that, and beforehand, I'm not gonna lie, I did have a really, really bad diet. I'd given up. I thought, I'm never gonna lose weight. I'm never gonna be the size I wanna be, so I'm just gonna eat what I want. And I ate a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs. And everyone said to me, oh, maybe you should start slowly, like cut sugar and carbs out slowly, lower the amounts, all that sort of thing. And I just knew for myself that cutting it down, I was still going to get the withdrawals of the sugar and that sort of thing. And I was like, no, I'm just going to cut it out. I'm just going to cut it out completely. And one day I started keto, and that was it. I went through all the sugar withdrawals, all the carb withdrawals, and that was horrible. People say weight loss is mostly mental, and it's true. I believe it's 90% mental. You have to decide you're not going to give in to the cravings, and I'm not going to lie, the cravings never stop. You're just able to say no a lot more. Anyway, tangent. So I was on keto, and I was on keto, I want to say about 2 months, and I lost about 9 kilos. I wasn't exercising or anything like that. I was just doing the keto diet. And I just felt I was losing a lot of weight, but I was so tired. I had no energy. It was really hard. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And around this time, the 4 sessions I had with the nutritionist started, and she said to me, look, the high fat diet is good for PCOS, but your body needs carbs. And I was so afraid of carbs at this point, because on keto it's like, don't touch carbs, don't even sniff carbs, don't be anywhere near carbs. And I was like, oh crap. I was like, what am I gonna do? And she said, look, with PCOS, they say go on the same sort of diet as a diabetic goes on, which is low carb. And she said, this is what you need to do. So I had 30 grams of carbs at every meal, and 2 or 3 snacks that were 15 grams of carbs set throughout the day. And that was to keep my blood sugar stable so that I didn't put on weight and so I could lose weight. Again, insulin resistance with PCOS. And that really helped. I had so much more energy, and I started the gym, which was awesome. So I started the gym. Since I've started the gym, I think I've lost, I want to say 17 kilos since I started the gym. Something like that anyway. So I started to incorporate exercise. And everyone told me, just do cardio. Just do cardio, that's all you need to do. You just need to burn all those calories. And I was like, I hate cardio. I don't want to do cardio. So I did it. I did a little bit of cardio at the start of each session, but mainly I did weight training, and still I do weight training. I've been in the mindset from the start that I don't just want to be skinny, I want to be fit, and I want to be healthy, and I want to build muscle. And I've been doing that, which is amazing. And around the time I started going to the gym more and more, about 4 or 5 days a week, I was able to tap in and sort of understand what my body was telling me. So I was still having the low controlled carbs throughout the day, but I could start telling when my body wanted and needed more carbs. If I'd done a really big workout or what have you, or I could tell when my body wanted more protein, and it was really easy to intuitively decide what I wanted to eat. So I would carb load if I needed to, and it was just a lot easier. As time goes on, you can tell what your body wants, which when I first started I couldn't do that. I wasn't in tune with what I wanted. So now I'm still doing low carb, but I eat when I'm hungry and I eat what my body feels like. I just try and do healthier versions, and just looking at the path that I've taken, completely cutting out things, to now being at the point where I can eat what I want to eat and know that I'm still doing good for my body, I think is amazing. And yeah, the biggest thing I think that you guys should do is just, so many times in this journey people have said you need to do this, and I've been like, you know what, I don't. Take your own path, find out what works for you. I feel like that's the most important thing, and that is what's going to help you stay motivated, is when you actually are doing what you want to do. And I'm at the point now where I've lost 25 kilos, and I never thought that I'd be able to lose 25 kilos, and I still have 14 kilos to go until my goal weight. So hopefully you guys will follow me on that journey. I feel like that's a really quick sort of wrap up of my journey so far, but I have so many videos I want to show you guys of what I eat in a day and my exercise regime, and just really go into detail on this journey so I can look back, and when I get to my goal weight I can see where I started and I can remember what happened. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm probably going to watch this video back and be like, I missed a million things I wanted to say, but that's okay. If there's any videos you guys want to see, let me know. Please hit the like button, please subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.